Today, I'm going to take you through time, to a time far, far away. Well, not really. I'm going to go through all of Minecraft's updates. Everything that matters anyway. From the day it was conceived to now. Haha, hehe, if you like the video, then subscribe. Thank you. The pre-classic era, where it all started. This was the initial development phase of Minecraft. All of the basic mechanics were implemented. Terrain generation, walking around, breaking and placing items. This whole thing took like less than a week. Next is the classic era. The original game mode was creative. However, this was the first time that survival mode was being tested. Things like health were added, mobs were added, creepers, spiders, skeletons, pigs. This is where it all started. This is where survival Minecraft started. Next is the Indev phase. This is when survival mode really started to be fleshed out, and a lot of gameplay mechanics that we know today come from this era. Things like torches, diamonds even. They were all from the Indev phase. The Nether was technically created during this phase, but it was basically just a retextured overworld. It had a lava ocean instead of a normal ocean, dim lighting, and red clouds. It was originally named Hell. Next is Alpha. This is when things really started to become more game-like. This is when Minecraft started to actually become a game. This is also the first time you had to actually purchase the game. There were loads of new items and blocks added. It was a time of rapid expansion. Also, the Nether was reintroduced and reworked, so we actually have the Nether that we know today. Here is a list of the absurd amount of items added. Iron doors, levers, redstone, redstone ore, redstone torches, stone buttons, wooden pressure plates, cobblestone stairs, oak doors, mushrooms, ice, snow, snowballs, cactus, boats, fishing rods, and paintings. And that's not even everything. There were also some gameplay and just general terrain generation updates to make it less devy. Next, the beta. So for the beta, there's the main things that sort of happened pre 1.8 and 1.8. So pre 1.8, you have tooltips in the inventory, performance improvements, beds were added, weather was added, a ton more blocks, like a lot of blocks. Beta 1.8 was the first named Minecraft update. It's the first update that focused on a particular aspect of the game and just worked on that, rather than just adding a bunch of stuff all at once. This was called the Adventure Update. It focused mainly on fighting, exploration, and adventuring, as the name would suggest. There were a load of new blocks added, mainly stone bricks, melons, and pumpkins. Cave spiders, silverfish, and endermen were added. This is also the first time that we saw generated structures like villages, abandoned mine shaft, strongholds, ravines, huge mushrooms. A ton of new biomes were added as well. Oceans, plains, deserts, extreme hills, forests, tigers, swamps, rivers. Flying was added to creative. There were combat updates. Bows now had to be charged. Crits, parries, attack animations for mobs. This is also when hunger was added, and also where food would restore your hunger rather than your health. Sprinting was added. This was a huge update, and it really built some of the core features that we know and love today. Also, side note, this is actually when I started playing. Next is the full release, November 18th, 2011. I remember it well. So this was officially 1.0. It's also sometimes called the Adventure Update Part 2. This was a huge update, as you would imagine, for the actual release of the game. Potion brewing was added and all of the variants of potions. Enchanting was added and all of the enchants along with them. Music discs, baby animals, the Ender Dragon was added, more biomes, mob reading, hardcore mode, just a ton of stuff that was added for the release of the game. For my OG Minecraft fans, comment below if you remember watching Notch pull the lever at Minecon. 1.2. This is where jungle biomes were added. Jungle biomes, ocelots, iron golems, and zombie sieges. 1.14, also called the Pretty Scary Update. A ton of new mobs were added, witches, bats, zombie villagers, the wither skeleton, the wither boss, anvils were added, enchanted books were added. Mojang was hard at work. 1.15, also called the Redstone Update. A bunch of new redstone blocks were added. The redstone block was added. Daylight sensors, droppers, hoppers, new commands were added into the game. Minecraft Realms was a thing now. The scoreboard system was added. Not huge, but it did some work for Redstone. 1.6, the horse update. This is when texture packs were renamed to resource packs. I still call them texture packs. It's been like 8 years or something, and sometimes newer players just have no idea what I'm talking about. Status effects were added, horses were also of course added, and horse armor, as well as hay bales. 1.7.2, the update that changed the world. That's not me being hyperbolic, that is literally what it's called. This was actually really huge. Not a lot of blocks were added, but the entire world generation system was reworked. All of the terrain generation systems, everything, it was all reworked. And a ton of new biomes were added as well. But yeah, this mainly just focused on how the actual world generation worked. 1.8, the Bountiful update. A bunch of new blocks were added. I think this is the most blocks ever to be added in one update. 36 new blocks. Also sea monuments were added, guardians and rabbits were added, spectator mode was added, and this is also the first time we see the appearance of the Alex skin. 1.9, the combat system. This was a huge overhaul to the combat system. This is the first time we saw offhand slots, so dual wielding. It's also when the attack strength system was added, as well as shields. The elytra was added. Yeah, a pretty big update, and again a huge overhaul to the combat system. This was actually quite infamous at the time because it sort of severed the community a bit. There were a lot of people that didn't like the new combat system specifically for PvP, which is why nowadays you see a lot of big Minecraft servers and PvP focused Minecraft servers all running on 1.8.9. 1.13, the aquatic update. This was again a pretty huge Minecraft update and more or less changed the way Minecraft looked indefinitely. It was of course a major overhaul to Minecraft Oceans. A ton of new mobs were added, phantoms, dolphins, turtles, drowned, and actually fish mobs. Before this, fish weren't actually mobs, they were just something that you got in your inventory after fishing. You couldn't actually go into the water and see them. New structures as well, shipwrecks, icebergs, underwater ruins, buried treasures, and of course coral reefs. This is also when the end was separated into different biomes, namely floating, medium, high and barren islands. A bunch of new block variants for trapdoors, pressure plates and buttons, and of course all of the ocean related blocks and items that you see today. 1.14, village and pillage. This was actually a massive update revamping villages. A bunch of new stair and slab variants were added, bamboo was added, scaffolding was added, loads of new flowers as well as all of the job tables, smithing tables, fletching tables, cartography tables, all of those villager work tables. Crossbows were also added, 7 new mobs, cats, pandas, foxes, wandering traders, trader llamas, ravagers and pillagers, and of course raids were added as well. 1.15, the notorious Fuzzy Bee update. This is the bee update. It focused mainly on, well, bees. Bees were added to the game along with all of their various blocks, beehives, honey blocks, that sort of thing. Well, here we are. 1.16, the current Nether update. May as well go through it. This was the first really big overhaul to the Nether. New biomes were added which hadn't really been seen in the Nether before. Soul Sand Valleys, Crimson Forests, Warped Forests, Basalt Deltas, and of course the new structures that go along with those biomes, bastions, basalt pillars, huge fungi, ruined portals as well in the overworld, and nether fossils. A load of new nether mobs were added as well, piglins, striders, zoglins, hoglins, and piglin brute as well. This is also when netherite armor and weapons was added, and 26 new blocks including crying obsidian, nether gold ore, basalt, and blackstone. And that's all of them. That's all of the major updates in Minecraft. Well, for now at least. Of course, we've got the cave update coming, which I am very much looking forward to because I've been asking for a cave update. I think everyone has for ages. But yeah, for now, that's all of the major Minecraft updates in order. If you like the video, please like, or don't. That's fine too. Bye.